Okay, this is my graphics midterm for graphics 2. So essentially here, there's a frame buffer object being used to draw this scene that you can see in the middle of the screen there. So that scene actually exists, but we can't see it because we're not drawing it to the main buffer. We're just drawing it to a frame buffer and then applying that to the screen. So this entire orbiting thing is supposed to be like the Mars rover. So that whole scene is kind of like red dirt, and then the object on the right in the middle of the screen is the rover. So it's just orbiting. It's orbiting the rover, and then I can press 1 to change the channel of the TV, and it goes all staticky, and then it clears up over time, and it goes to, instead of orbiting, it goes to still shots of the rover from different directions. So it does the same thing. It uses a frame buffer object, or actually several different frame buffer objects. I think there's 4. There's 4 because there's one for each direction. So it's essentially moving a camera, rendering that scene to a frame buffer object. The next shot is another movement. It renders that scene to another frame buffer object, and then based on a time interval, I will render that specific direction to the screen. And then again, if I change the channel, in the shader, I add a static, like random static effect, and then over time it fades, and that goes to the orbiting. And the orbiting is just one frame buffer object, but the camera is constantly orbiting around the rover. And that wasn't the entire midterm, but this is the final question, and this was the kind of like the culmination of the entire midterm. The first question was to do the orbiting. The second question was to do the different angles, like static images from each side. Third question was to put one of those on the TV screen, and then so I guess maybe this was, I'm missing a question in there. Oh, the very first question was putting all the models in the scene, and that was whatever. That's fine. And then after that, I think this is the last question. So this is showing everything working together. So I can change the channel, and it superimposes the rover plus the static, and it slowly fades, and then it goes to either the static images or the orbiting images. And that was the entire midterm.